This class is going to focus primarily on twisting poses. It should be about 45 minutes. It should feel really nice in your spine, in your neck, just getting things moving and flowing. We're also going to do a little bit of balance so that you could work the stabilizing muscles and just start to engage and become present with your body again. All right, so we'll get started. You could grab your blanket. I have mine kind of folded a little bit more thin rather than the thickest height, just so it's like a cushion for your knees. Have your blocks, one to the right, one to the left. We won't use them to start, but we will use them soon. And then come to a child's pose. So you can have your knees open wide, your big toes maybe touching. Reach the arms forward, and then slide your hips back and down. And you're just going to start here in your child's pose. Get comfortable. Try to find a position that feels good. And just take 5 breaths. We're going to do a nice inhale through the nose. Exhale out. Take another cleansing inhale. And exhale, release. Energize through the inhale. Exhale, let it go. Take another inhale. Exhale it out. Last one in your child's pose. Breathe in and breathe out. From here, start to crawl the fingers further forward and then slide the hips back and down. Walk your hands over to the left. You're going to reach as long as you can through your right arm. Maybe slide your left hand back so your fingertips come next to your left knee on the ground. And continue to crawl your right hand forward. Maybe you lift a little bit off of your heels so you feel a stretch down your shoulder and slide your hips back. We're going to add a twist, so push into the tips of your left fingers, rotate your spine to the left, look past your left arm, past your shoulder, and then start to untwist, come back down. And then do that again. Inhale, twist, rotate to the left, and exhale, come down. And we'll just do that one more time. Maybe get a little higher. Push into the tips of your left fingers. Push down into your right palm. Rotate to the left. Look past your shoulder. And then start to untwist. Optional tricep stretch here if you want to reach the right hand a little bit further forward. And then flip your right palm up. Bend your elbow so your elbow stays on the ground. And your right hand comes to your back or your neck or wherever it lands. You're still on a little bit of a diagonal here. And then straighten your right arm, straighten your left arm, walk it through the middle and then over to the right. So you're going to stretch your left side. So you should feel a nice long stretch from your left wrist, past your left elbow, into your left shoulder, from your shoulder down your ribs, all the way into your left hip. And your right hand can naturally start to come next to your right knee, a little bend in the elbow, and then we'll twist 3 times. Push into your right hand, rotate to the right, look past your right shoulder, and then exhale, come down. And then do that again. Push into the right fingertips, push into the left palm, rotate to your right. And then come down, connect with your breath. Do that one more time. Take a twist, maybe lift a little higher. And then come down. Maybe reach your left arm further away from you. Drop your elbow, flip your palm, bend the arm so your elbow stays down. And you bring your hand towards your neck or your back or your shoulder. Tricep stretch. And then straighten the left arm, walk it back to child's pose. So straighten the right arm, bring your hands back to where they started. Feel that nice length you've already created in your shoulders and your spine. And then lift up to tabletop. You could keep your blanket there. Bring your knees underneath your hips, shoulders under the wrists. Let's start to circle around. So fingers are spread, your palms are flat, and you're just taking maybe 2 or 3 big circles one way, and then 2 or 3 big circles the other way. And this is just so you could start to feel weight in your hands. If there's any tension in your fingers or your wrist, you might feel it radiate up to your elbow, your shoulder, or your neck. So it's just a good way to explore if there's any tension in any of the upper body. And then let's do cat-cow. You could drop the belly, tuck the toes, pull the heart forward, a little bend in the elbows. And then as you exhale, push through your arms, round your back, drop your tailbone, drop your chin to your chest. And then inhale to open, tuck the toes, pull the heart through. And then exhale, cat pose, round your back, draw your navel up to your spine. One more round. Inhale, soften the elbows. You could pull your heart through, tuck your toes. And then exhale, round. Push through your arms, chin to chest, tuck the tailbone down. And at the top here, we're going to hold and kind of just sway side to side. So you could stretch out your shoulder blades, get a little movement in your back. Kind of going right to left. And then when that feels good, come to tabletop. We're going to grab the blocks, bring them under your hands. So you can lie the blocks flat and then sit back to child's pose. So maybe knees a little bit wider, toes together, and then take child's pose again and feel this nice stretch. Now that the arms are elevated, a little different sensation. And just breathe here for 2 more breaths. And then start to come back up to tabletop. Hands to the floor. Bring your knees under your hips. You're going to walk your hands back towards your knees and then stand up all the way on your knees. From here, reach your arms to the sides, to the right and to the left, so that you're making a T. I'll face this way. And then we're just going to flip the palms back. So your thumbs spin down and your pinkies spin up. And then flip the thumbs up, pinkies down, palms are forward. And just alternate. Do that a couple times and really stretch through your fingers so this feels active. You want to feel a slight burning sensation in your biceps, not a lot, but just so you feel like your arms are activated, biceps, triceps, and you're reaching through your fingers. Now from here, we're going to alternate the arms. So you're going to drop your right shoulder down, let your palm flip all the way 180 degrees so the palm spins up and look to your left. And then your left palm can face the ceiling as well. And then come back to neutral, both palms forward. And then drop your left shoulder down and your flip that palm all the way, and your right palm is up, look to the right. And then come back to the center. Do that again one more time. So right shoulder drops in and down, you're kind of twisting to the left, and then come back to the middle, and then drop the left shoulder, twist to the right, come back to the middle. Reach your arms overhead, bend your right elbow and catch your elbow. So you take another tricep stretch here. So notice that your right armpit is super open and wide. Reach the arms up. Exhale, do the other arm. So grab your left elbow. So you can see your chest is really open. And then you're going to inhale, reach up, and then bring your arms in front of you. So I'll face this side again, just so you can see what I'm about to do. So from here, we're going to bring the palms together, bend the elbows 90 degrees. So this feels like your armpits are more closed off. From here now, you're going to reach your elbows to the sky and your fingertips behind you, trying to keep that same rotation in your arms. So you're kind of spinning your biceps in and back towards your ears. Draw your navel in and up and kind of firm the glutes so that you can keep the legs active, keep your core engaged so you're not overarching your spine. And then lower your elbows back down where they started. And then we're going to do that again. Reach the elbows high, fingertips behind you. So you might already start to feel a little burning in the shoulders or a little soreness or tightness in the back. That's totally normal. And then start to bring the elbows back down. Maybe even drop the arms in between, and we'll just do it one more time. So arms forward, palms together, 90-degree bend. You could see how your biceps are spinning in and up towards the sky, and then let them keep spinning in and back to the wall behind you as you rise your elbows. And then come back down, release your arms, shake it out. We're going to take that shape onto the blocks and do this puppy dog variation where you open up your chest. So we're going to bring elbows to the blocks, have them about shoulder distance apart, palms together. You're going to scoot your knees further back than you would for child's pose, and then drop your chest low and your hips stay high, and then spin your biceps in and back as your thumbs come towards the back of your neck. So nice big heart opener. And you can adjust. So if you come into it and it doesn't feel right, you could adjust and try to focus this in the triceps. So the closer your elbows are to center, the easier it will be to access the triceps rather than your chest and shoulders. So the armpits are closed here. And once you get settled, we're going to breathe here for 5 breaths. And then as you continue to breathe, maybe this feels good. And instead of thinking dropping lower to the ground, if you have good mobility, you could think of sending your sternum or your heart towards your thighs, kind of dragging back a little bit so your spine lengthens. And your elbows are still grounded into the blocks. And then we'll finish out the last breath. When you're ready, straighten the arms, bring weight into the elbows, slowly start to come back up to tabletop, hands on the blocks. Cat pose, round your back, chin to chest. And then from here, we'll kind of add a little neck stretch. So you're going to stay in cat pose, look over to the right. So your chin is sort of gliding along your collarbones towards your right shoulder. And then bring your chin back to center, looking towards your navel, and then look to your left. So your chin's going over to your left shoulder. And then come back to center. Do that one more time over to the right. So just turn your gaze to the right. Keep your chin close to your body. Back to center, over to the left. And keep pushing through your shoulders so they're nice and round. Come back to center. Tabletop. Move the blocks. We'll put them all the way forward. We can also move the blanket or towel out of the way if you were using one. And then we're going to find tabletop. Maybe tuck the toes and just lean forward and back a couple times so you could stretch the arches of your feet as you also stretch your wrists here. So just leaning forward and back. And then on this next one, you'll take it into a downward dog. So you can push through your arms. You can start with bent knees. Lengthen your spine. Pull your navel in and up. Breathe in and out through the nose. Inhale, come to plank pose. So you might need to walk your hands forward or your feet back. Draw your belly button to your spine. Push into your palms. Lengthen your whole spine. Go back to downward facing dog. We're going to inhale, come to plank. Drop your knees, lean forward, untuck your toes, and then bend the elbows, chaturanga, all the way down. Extended cobra, so fingertips reach away from the body wider than your mat. Inhale, press up, and then exhale, roll down. And then inhale, push yourself back up, extended cobra, and then exhale, roll it down. And then we'll do this again. Inhale, push up, and we'll add a twist. Drop your left shoulder and left ear toward the mat. Look to your right. And your right elbow's a little bit bent. Inhale, come up to the middle. Twist to the left. So drop your right shoulder and your right ear. We'll repeat that. Inhale, come to the middle. Drop the left shoulder. Look over to your right side. Maybe look at your right foot. Come back up. Inhale. Look over to your left foot. Drop your right shoulder. One more time, up in the middle. Exhale, lower down. From here, bring your hands like you're going to come to a low cobra. So palms next to your ribs. Reach your toes behind you. And then roll the shoulders back. Peel your heart off the floor, low cobra. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. Firm your glutes. Exhale, come down. Keep your head down. Rise only your legs. So rise your feet. Reach your toes behind you. Squeeze the glutes. Draw your shoulder blades together, but keep your head on the ground. And then lower the legs. And then from here, let's come to child's pose. Keep your knees where they are. Just send the hips back. Little stretch here. Counter stretch. And stay for 2 more breaths. So really reach the fingers forward, hips back. Your stomach can rest on your thighs. And then when you're ready, come to tabletop. All right, now from here, let's bring the left hand to the center, right hand to the right shoulder. You're going to twist. So reach your right elbow to the sky, open your chest to the right, inhale. And then exhale, bring your right elbow towards the floor, maybe to the left. And then inhale, twist it open again, elbow to the sky. Exhale, bring it down. 2 more times. Inhale, reach that right elbow to the sky. Exhale, bring it down. You could let that left elbow bend as you lower. And then last time, straighten the left arm, reach the right elbow to the ceiling, straighten your right arm. And then bring your fingertips to touch, like blade your hand, and then create little circles on the ceiling. So we're just getting a little bit of control in the shoulder. And then go the other way. We're going to turn this into thread the needle. So you're going to inhale, stretch through that right arm, and then exhale, thread. So reach the right arm under you, lean into your right shoulder. So this is kind of a twist for your upper spine. You can use your left hand to push into the floor so that you lean more into the right shoulder blade and really round your back like a cat pose. Just take 2 more breaths. And then you're going to plant the left palm, reach your right arm open as you inhale. Bring it down as you exhale. Left hand to left shoulder, twist your left elbow to the sky, right hand stays on the ground. And then exhale, bring your left elbow to tap the floor. Inhale, twist it back open. Exhale, bring it down. 2 more times. Inhale, twist the left elbow open. This is really forcing your chest nice and wide. And then bring it back down. Last one, reach the elbow to the ceiling and then straighten your left arm. And then blade your fingers, create little circles on the ceiling, looking up towards your left thumb maybe, or in that direction. And then reverse your circles. So you're kind of just controlling your shoulder joint here. And then inhale, stretch, exhale, thread the needle, reach it under and through, lean all the way into the left. Use your right hand to push the ground away from you. And stay here for 3 more breaths. So you should feel a really nice opening in your left shoulder blade, in your back. Maybe it even comes all the way up into the neck, depending on how you're placing your weight. So just really let your body open and stretch all of that out. And then right hand plants down. Reach the left arm up, inhale. Exhale, bring it down. We're back in tabletop. Okay, now from here, I want us to come into tabletop. Bring your knees a little bit closer together. You're going to kick your right leg up and back. Draw your belly button to your spine. It's like you're trying to stamp your heel to the ceiling. Then we're going to open it like a fire hydrant. So open and lift a little bit. Right knee all the way to the right. And then that right foot is going to step to the outside of your right hand. Now your hands are on the inside of your right foot. Your right foot is all the way to the right. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. So now you're in a wide lunge. We're going to add the twist. So similar to what we just did in tabletop. Left hand stays down. We're going to reach the right arm to the ceiling. Dragonfly twist. And then from here, we're going to thread. Reach your right arm behind your left elbow. And you can kind of bend, kind of get a little bit lower. And then inhale, reach it back open, twist. And then exhale, close it. Thread the arm under your left arm. Inhale, reach it open. One more time. Exhale, thread it through. Last one. Inhale, reach it open. Take a half bind. Rotate your right palm and bend the elbow behind your back. Roll your right shoulder back and down. Look to the right, which is the ceiling. Inhale, straighten your right arm. Bring it back down. From here, let's release the back knee gently. And you could untuck your back toes. You're either going to stay just like this. This is your lizard pose, or you could use your blocks under your hands, or you could come to your elbows. So we're just opening up the right hip. So you can choose elbows straight, elbows bent, whatever feels better for you. You could even sway a little bit right and left just to get into this right hip. If it feels good, you could also roll to the pinky toe edge of your right foot. And it kind of feels like a pigeon pose as you open that right hip a little bit more. We'll just stay for 1 more breath. Plant your right foot flat. Straighten the arms if they're bent. Hands to the floor. We're going to go back to a downward dog. So tuck your back toes. Lift your left knee off the floor. Right foot goes back, down dog. Pedal it out. Bring a little movement into the legs. And then you're going to return to tabletop. So maybe just shift weight and bring weight into the knees. Knees a little closer together. Palms spread, arms are nice and strong. Send your left knee at a 90-degree bend up and back. So it's like you're trying to stamp the ceiling with the sole of your left foot. Then we're going to kind of fire hydrant, open it to the left, keep it going like a half circle, left foot to the outside of your left hand, and then rise your right knee off the ground. So you're in your wide lunge. Peel the left arm to the sky. We're going to do that thread. So you're going to inhale, stretch, and then exhale, thread it under. Inhale, peel it open. Exhale, reach it behind your right elbow and reach through. Again, inhale, thread it open, twist. Exhale, round and twist it under. Last one, peel the left arm open, half bind, rotate your arm, bend it behind your back, peel the left shoulder open, look to the left. So you're kind of balancing on your right hand here. Your right leg is active, left leg is active. Straighten the left arm, bring it back down. Gently release your right knee to the floor, untuck your right toes so they lie flat, and then from here, lizard. So you could stay like this, or you could bring elbows to blocks. Take any variation of this stretch that feels helpful for your left hip. You can have the option to roll out to the edge of your left foot. It could be dynamic where you kind of move back and forth, or you could just stay still and breathe. Take one more breath wherever you're at. And then start to bring your palms to the mat. Your left foot stays flat. We're making our way back to down dog. So lift your right knee. Send the left foot back, downward dog. Pedal it out. And we'll just stay in down dog for 3 more breaths. So maybe you find a nice downward dog with the knees bent. That could feel good. And start to send your heart towards your knees. As you push through your arms, there's a little tilt in your pelvis. So maybe the cue you could think of is spinning your inner thighs in and back towards the wall behind you. That'll help to tip your pelvis forward a little bit and your tailbone to the ceiling. And then we're going to walk the feet to the hands. So lift up to your toes, bend your knees deep, but keep your hips piked up high. Look between your hands, walk your feet forward. Come to ragdoll toward the top of your mat with your knees bent, and you can hang side to side. Even this pose right here could be great for you to do throughout the day just to decompress your spine. It's similar to hanging from a bar. Maybe you grab opposite elbows so that your arms feel a little bit heavier. I always like to switch the cross of my elbows so that it's even in my back. And then release the arms. Let's inhale to a flat back lift. Exhale to round forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Sweep your arms overhead. Hands to heart center, thumbs towards your chest. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Grab your block. Exhale, fold. Put the block in front of your toes. We're going to do a ragdoll twist. So block in the middle of your feet in front of your toes. Bend your left knee, left hand to the block. Reach your right arm open. Look towards your right thumb. So you should feel good stretching the glute, the hamstring. Breathe in. Breathe out, lower it down, bend your right knee. Right hand to the block. Peel the left arm open as you inhale. You could bend your right knee this time, straighten your left leg. Look towards your left thumb. Breathe in, breathe out, come down. Move the blocks so one's to the right, one's to the left. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand. Reach the arms wide and then overhead. Hands to heart center. Let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive forward over the legs. We're going to inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to plank, hands down, send one leg back at a time. Chaturanga. So lean forward, bend your elbows, come to the floor. Low cobra. Inhale. So lift your chest, firm your glutes. Option to rise the legs here if you want to for a little extra back bend. And then come down. Make your way to downward dog. So you can come to hands and knees, tuck your toes, and then come to down dog. 3 breaths here. Maybe you start to straighten the knees a little bit more, or you feel the weight down in the backs of your legs into your heels. And then we're going to lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward, step or hop your feet to your hands. Inhale, rise halfway with a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand, reach the arms wide, come all the way up. Hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up, interlace your fingers, flip your palms, get tall. Side bend to your right, so just lean over to the right like a crescent moon and let your hips kind of go to the left. Little curve through your whole spine. Lift up to the middle, inhale. Exhale, side bend to the left, let your hips move to the right. Push down into that right foot. Inhale, come to the middle, separate your hands. Take your exhale. Take another inhale. Exhale, back bend, cactus the arms, lift your heart, hips go forward. Inhale, reach up, look forward, and then we're going to exhale, dive over the legs. Inhale, lift halfway. We're coming to low lunge. Hands to the blocks, send your left foot back. So right foot stays forward. And if you want to kind of rock forward and back, get a little movement into the calf or the left toes, that's nice. And then we're going to settle in our low lunge. So right knee is in line with your right ankle. It's stacked right on top of it. And then let's take a twist again. So left hand stays on the block, peel your right arm open. So dragonfly twist, a little bit more narrow, look towards your right thumb. If you want to take the bind, you could rotate your right arm and bend the elbow behind your back, trying to reach for your left hip bone as you continue to look to the ceiling. Think about stretching through your left heel behind you as you stretch forward through the crown of your head. Reach your right arm straight and then bring it back down to the block. Okay, from here, let's just step the left foot back to the top. Inhale, lift halfway. Forward fold, send your right foot back, low lunge. So you can kind of rock forward and back. Take a little movement here. Little stretch, and then settle in your lunge. So your left knee stacked on top of your left ankle. Dragonfly twist. Right hand stays down, left arm peels open. Firm your glutes, lengthen your spine, lengthen your neck away from your shoulders. Option to bind the left arm behind your back towards your right hip. Really use that right hand for support. Maybe think of reaching through your right leg. Inhale the left arm up, bring it back down. Step your right foot to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms wide to come up to stand. Hands to heart center. We're going to go low lunge to high lunge. So sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Same beginning. Inhale, lift halfway. Low lunge on the right. So left foot goes back. Square your hips. Let's turn the blocks a little bit higher, all the way high. Reach back through your left heel, squeeze your glutes, belly button to spine. As you push into your right foot, maybe come to the tips of your fingers, lengthen your spine on the diagonal, hands to heart center. We're going to hold for a breath or two. So feel this active isometric hold. And then come up to high lunge, reach your arms to the sky, shoulders over hips. And then you can kind of like settle into your legs here. So if you have to make any adjustments, that's fine. Try to square the hips, lift through your core, rise the arms. And then we might add a twist here. So if you can find your balance, you're going to firm your glutes, pull the navel in and up, breathe in. As you breathe out, twist to your right. Open your arms wide to the right and to the left like a T. And then maybe wrap your right arm behind your back and your left hand to the outside of your right knee. So you feel this nice twist. So you're wrapping half bind, right arm behind you towards your left hip. And then your left arm's just crossing to your other leg. And then from here, come forward, hands to heart center. So look straight ahead, square shoulders, square hips. Back to low lunge. We could take a vinyasa, move your blocks, come to plank, chaturanga, bend the elbows. You can come to low cobra or upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. Take 2 to 3 breaths, breathing in and out through the nose. Push through your palms, lengthen the backs of your legs. And then we're going to rise the heels, bend the knees, step your feet to the hands. Inhale, rise halfway. Forward fold. Inhale, rise the arms overhead. Hands to heart center. We're going to do the left side, starting with low lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Lift halfway. Find your blocks, low lunge on the left. So you could start with your blocks any height. We're going to find a nice lunge, firm the glutes. Maybe think of squeezing your glutes to the middle, squeezing your thighs to the middle. Rise your blocks high, and then find that diagonal line from the crown of your head to your right heel. So your body creates this really nice shape. You're going to push into that left foot, activate the hip, and start to rise off your blocks, hands to heart center. So belly button to spine, reaching back through the right leg, reaching forward through your head, and then come up to high lunge. Just take that little shift. Shoulders over hips now. Use your core, use your legs, really working the whole body here. You could stay just like this, Anjaneyasana, or we'll add the twist. So think of squeezing in the pelvis, in the core, nice little lift as you inhale, and then twist to the left as you exhale. Wrap your left arm behind your back, and your right arm crosses to the other side. And maybe you just take this nice twist, rolling that left shoulder down. Belly button pulls in, firm the glutes. And then you're going to bring hands to heart center, square to the front of the room. Shoulders, hips face forward, low lunge. Hands to the floor to plank. Step the left foot back, take a vinyasa. So chaturanga, into your back bend, so cobra or up dog, and then down dog. Stay here for 3 breaths, in and out through the nose. Starting to control your breathing, control the movement of energy through your body. And then you'll travel feet to hands. Rise the heels, bend the knees, look forward. Feet come to the top. Rise halfway. Forward fold. Rise all the way, reach the arms overhead. Hands to heart center. Okay, we're going to stay facing forward. Use the blocks on the tallest height for pyramid pose. Nice big hamstring stretch. And then we might add in the twist on the second time. So feet about hip distance apart or slightly wider if you need a little more room for your balance. Step your left foot back, not too far, maybe 4 feet between your 2 legs. And then keep your right toes pointing forward, left toes just a tiny bit turned out, but your knee and your hip are still forward. Hands to heart center. You're going to firm, lift up really high, take a breath in, and then breath out, square the hips, square the shoulders, flat back, forward fold. So it might help to think of drawing the right hip back as you hinge, and then you'll bring your hands to the blocks. So good stretch for the right hamstring. You're trying to keep your flat back, trying to keep a flat back, pressing into the ball of your right foot and kind of locking out your right quad so that your kneecap lifts up on your right leg. Pull your belly button to your spine, lengthen through the crown of the head. If you can't quite get your back flat, that's okay. It might mean that you just need to elevate your hands a little bit higher. So you could practice this on the couch or with maybe a folding chair. But if you're able to keep that flat back, that's great. And we're just going to stay here for 2 more breaths. So really think of sending your hips back, head forward, hands to heart center, stabilize through the legs, push up to stand. And then we're going to step the left foot forward, shake it out. We'll do the other side. So right foot steps back, left toes forward, right toes turn out just a pinch, hands to heart center, pull the belly in, inhale. And then exhale, forward fold. Left hip kind of goes back so that the hips actually stay square. Hands to blocks. So this should feel really long in the left leg. So the whole back side of that left leg. Belly button to spine, trying to square the hips. Pushing into the ball of your left foot maybe. Lock out the knee. So the legs are totally straight. 1 more breath. Hands to heart center. Come up to stand. Step your right foot forward. Shake out the legs. All right, a little bend in the knees. We're going to do that again and then potentially add the twist. So it's a revolved pyramid, it's called. Or no, revolved triangle is what it's called. It's a challenging twist, so you'll take it as deeply as you can without forcing anything in your spine. So left foot goes back again. We'll have right foot forward, same exact pose. Hands to heart center, breathe in, firm the glutes and the legs. Breathe out, flat back, hinge. So hips go back, head goes forward, slowly, carefully, and then bring hands to blocks once you get there. So we're going to take a breath to establish this shape again. So we know what it feels like. You just did it. It's the same exact thing. Only this time we might move that left block more directly under your shoulder, right hand to right hip. This is going to turn into a twist. So squeeze your glutes. Try to squeeze your thighs towards each other. From the bottom of your spine, from your hips, twist to the right. So low back, middle back, upper back, and shoulders. Look to your right. You can keep your right hand on your hip, or you could straighten your right arm to the ceiling, just like your dragonfly twist, but now your knees are straight. So this requires a lot of length through your spine. You're really extending forward through your head and back through your tailbone. Arms are really long, stretching actively through your fingers, squeezing your thighs together. And then we'll bring the right hand back down to the block. Take a minute to reset, find your balance, and then come up to stand. Hands to heart center. Left foot steps to the top. All right, shake that out. We'll do the other side. So right foot goes back. Staying square and neutral, hands to heart center. Breathe in, breathe out, forward fold. Hips back, head forward, nice flat back, hands to the blocks. So the goal with any twist is to create space first, so to lengthen first and then twist. So you want to think of lengthening your spine as much as you can, forward and back at the same time. Right hand is going to stay on the block, left hand to left hip. And you can move that right block a little bit if to a place that feels more supportive. Twist to the left. So squeeze your thighs together. Twist from your hips, your low back, middle back, upper back, shoulders, neck, and head. All twist left. You could keep your left hand on your hip or straighten that arm towards the sky. And it's helpful to think of squeezing the legs towards center. Belly button pulls in. Everything's engaged. Legs are engaged. Spine is long and twisted. Left hand can come back down. Take a moment to reset and come back up to stand. And then we'll bring 2 feet to the top of the mat. Shake out the legs. All right, nice big juicy twist. So let's move the blocks forward, out of the way, make our way back down to cool down the body. Feet hip distance. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees, bow your head, ragdoll again. Take a couple breaths here to release your low back. And then you're going to make your way to plank. So hands down, send one leg back and then the other, and then down dog. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, child's pose, however feels good. So you can keep the knees parallel, you can have them wide, you can have arms forward, or you could even sweep them behind you with your palms up, whatever feels best. Maybe think of breathing into your back. Let the inhale stretch out your ribs. Maybe think of sending the inhale to wherever feels tight. So if your low back is tight, send your breath there. Maybe one more inhale, exhale. And then come to tabletop. Maybe circle around the wrists again or do some cat-cows. Another nice thing that you could do here is roll the shoulders in tabletop. So it's not quite cat-cow, but you're kind of just rolling the shoulders around and back. Whatever feels good. And then eventually come to a seat. So you could just sit your hip down, swing your legs around. We're going to sit kind of in the middle or a little bit lower towards the top. Knees bent, feet down. Inhale, flat back. And then exhale, round your back. Roll all the way down, nice and slow. You could hold on to the backs of your thighs. Try to use a little core support as you start to lower, and your shoulders and your head and your neck just land nice and gently. Reach your arms overhead and then hug your knees to your chest. And take a little rock side to side. So you can start to cool down the body. moving slowly. And then keep your knees together and just circle the knees in the same direction. And then go the other way. So that should feel good in your sacrum, your low back, the backs of your hips. And then to come to happy baby, so grab the edges of your feet. It could be inside or outside grip, it doesn't matter. And then just take the knees wider than your body, wider than your shoulders, soles of your feet to the ceiling. And just take 3 really good breaths here. Inhale through the nose, maybe even exhale through the mouth. And then we'll start to draw the knees back in together after you finish that last breath. Extend your left leg long, but it could be kind of soft. Right knee into the chest. We'll do a supine twist. So left hand takes the right knee over to the left. Reach your right arm to the side. A couple breaths here. And then start to make your way back through the center. Switch out the legs. So left knee in, right legs extends, twist over to your right. So use the right hand to guide the knee. Left arm can just peel open to the left. And you can either look to the ceiling or look to your left hand. And then start to come back to the center. Hug both knees in again. This time circle the hips away from each other, so opposite directions. And then reverse the other way. And then hug your knees into your chest. Lift your forehead to your knees, so squeeze nice and tight, shoulders lift off the ground. And then lower your shoulders and your head. Lengthen your spine, but keep your knees to your chest. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Come back up again, forehead to knees. Lower it down. Inhale. One more exhale. Squeeze nice and tight, forehead to knees. Lower the shoulders and the head. Bring your feet to the ground, knees bent, hands on the belly. Now from here, you can either, we'll come to this one shape. We're going to heel toe the feet nice and wide to the edges of your mat and let your knees knock in towards each other so they just rest, knees in towards center. You could actually take Shavasana like this and just open your arms, palms to the ceiling. This could feel good in your lower back if there's any tension there. Or if you want to extend the legs straight, you could also do that. Sometimes it feels nice to roll up the towel and put it under your heels, or kind of like right behind your ankle. So you have a couple options for Shavasana. But you're just going to find whatever pose feels good for you. Maybe close your eyes and just allow yourself to breathe. You could start to visualize your whole body softening, starting from the top of your head. Take a full body scan. So maybe thinking about the crown of the head, and then almost like you're melting gold around your body, or this big, warm, glowing ray of light. Let that drip down the forehead, relaxing, softening the eyebrows and the ears and the eyes, down your nose, your lips and cheeks, into your chin, down the sides of the neck, the tops of your shoulders, your arms, past your elbows, your forearms, wrists, fingers. And then let that sensation relax down the sides of the ribs, the belly, and the back. Your hips relax, soften in the legs, the front of the knees and the backs of the knees, your shins and calves, into your ankles, heels, arches of the feet and toes. And just let your whole body relax into whatever shape you're in, feeling the weight of your body resting on the floor and feeling the support of the ground beneath you holding you up. So there's an equal and opposite exchange of energy and weight. And for the remainder of your time, you could stay here for as long as you'd like. And then whenever you're ready, just gently take yourself back up to a seat without rushing, without undoing all of that really nice work you did in your spine. Maybe you'll bring your palms together, bow your head, thank yourself for showing up, for moving your body, for choosing to do this with your time. And I will see you soon. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.